That's right, guys. We are watching the Sonic Classic Collection for the Nintendo DS. Let's talk about what this collection has to offer. It has Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 2 and Knuckles, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You can choose whichever game you want to play. You want to play Sonic 2? You got it. You want to play Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles separately for whatever reason? You got it. Guess what? You can do whatever you want. You want to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles the complete experience? You got that too. How about that? That's fantastic. What else do we have? We have added features like a pause button. I don't know why the original games don't have a pause button. That's really weird to me, because all games that I've ever played in my life have a pause button. But on this one, the pause button is on the little touch screen, and that's one thing that's weird. I wish they would have just put on a button, you know, because I pressed start and I think I paused it. I'm like, oh, I gotta touch the touch screen. It's weird. I don't know. At least it's a pause function, you know, that's great. Another thing they added, which is important unless you're playing Sonic 3 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they added a save feature, so you can save your progress. This is an emulated version on the DS, made by Sega, licensed by Sega, but it's still emulated. But it's not save states. It's not like save states. What they did is, you know, you beat a level, you finish the level. Guess what? You can save and you start at the beginning of whatever the last level you played is. You know. So that's really great for portable gaming in case you're just on a short car ride and you don't have the whole afternoon to sit in front of your TV playing your Genesis. You can just save it, pick it up back later. That's fantastic. With the Sonic and Knuckles and the option to play Sonic 3 and Sonic 2 expanded by Sonic and Knuckles, and all these different choices on how you want to play, this is one of the most complete Sonic collections of the core Genesis games there is, you know, and to my knowledge, it is the most complete available on a handheld console like the DS. Now, if it's worth something to you, then I would recommend going and finding it to see if you can get it, because it's really fun to play on the go. You know, Sonic is a great series to just play on the go, and these games are also really fun to play on the go, even though they were originally on home console. They work really well. There's some stuff though. There's lag throughout most of the game. The frame rate drops below the original 60 frames per second. It skips frames, so it still plays at the same speed, but it's most of the time it's around maybe like 40, 30. Looks about 30 to me, and sometimes this can make the shields look weird, and a bunch of stuff that blinks really fast kind of looks weird when you've got these frames like this. You know, most of the time you don't notice it, but if you're like a purist, you know, if you're a purist in that regard, then you may want to own another version of the original Sonic games in addition to this one. Sometimes it does slow down a little bit more than that. Sometimes it does slow down to the point where it does affect gameplay. It slows down kind of a lot in Sonic 3, at least when I was playing it on my DS. But most of the time, even though it is slightly less frames per second most of the time it's just not noticeable, and it's great. Another thing, the zoomed in screen, the DS does not, it's not as high resolution as Genesis. Who knew? I didn't know. I would have never guessed until I figured out the screen in this game is zoomed in a little bit. It's not as much as the Game Boy Advance port, because there was a Game Boy Advance port of this game, of Sonic 1, and it is not as zoomed in as that. It's barely noticeable, but there are some points, mainly in boss battles, because, you know, the screen doesn't usually move that much in boss battles, but it kind of does in this one. It's weird. You know, sometimes with the zoomed in screen, it doesn't Like it's hard to see stuff that comes out of nowhere, but it's not that big a deal. Like I said, you know, this is still a great game to have on the go. I would recommend getting this game if you know you like the classic Sonic games, you know, and you already own the home console versions or a collection or Xbox Live or something. And you just want to play this in your car, you know. This is great. This is great. Other than being a little tiny bit zoomed in, the game does look fantastic all the time. It's like detailed, the colors are all there. It's really amazing seeing this on handheld. You know, you take it for granted on a console, but then you see it on your DS and you're just like, whoa, you know, this looks really good. This could have been like a DS game. This would have been a really great game on the PSP, you know, because the PSP has a little bit more blast processing than the DS, and it, you know, has a high resolution screen, so it wouldn't have to be zoomed in. And you can get the Sega Genesis collection on the PSP, but unfortunately that does not come with Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, or any of that stuff related to that, you know. So if you only want to play Sonic 1 and 2 on the go, then get the Sega Genesis collection for the PSP. But if you want to play the complete collection on the go, this is great. Even though it lags, you know, I feel it should have been on the PSP, but this is still a great choice to get. Alright. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed my radio voice. Good job.